Hello listeners, how's it going? Now I'm talking to camera for the first time ever, so please don't judge me too harshly. Okay, my name is Sergey. My wife and I homeschool our children for some subjects. English is one of them, and since we're kind of dedicated to the educational process, we often had to review our knowledge and check or test our ability to explain things correctly. So here I have a plan so that I remember what to talk about and don't miss any points. In this lesson, we will review all of English tenses, 16 of them. This is a quick revision, and I'd recommend you watch the complete video to get the big picture of the tenses and how they all fit together. So if you want to look at each tense more detail, then check out the links below. So let's get started. So let's start by looking at the present simple tense. This is used firstly for routines and habits. So for instance, you could say, I play tennis every Friday. This is a routine, something you do every Friday. So you use the present simple tense. Just remember, with the present simple, the one difference is with he, she, and it, and you say plays. So don't forget the S. The present simple is also used for permanent situations. So, for instance, you could say, I live in a village. This is a permanent situation and not one that is likely to change anytime soon. So you use the present simple. Finally, the present simple is used for facts. So water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. This is a fact. So we use the present simple. So the present simple is used for routines and habits, permanent situations, and facts. Okay, so moving on to the present continuous. The present continuous is used for something that is happening now. So for instance, I'm having my dinner. It's happening now. The form is the subject plus am, are, or is, and the ing or ing form of the verb. The present continuous is also used for temporary situations. So you could say, I'm staying with a friend for 2 weeks. This is telling your listener that situation is not permanent. It's just for 2 weeks. It's a temporary situation. So you use the present continuous. Okay, so now let's look at the past simple. This is used for finished actions in the past, and usually there is some kind of time reference included. So for instance, you could say, I lived in Greece for 5 years, and this means that it's now finished. You are no longer living in Greece. So with the regular verbs, we simply add ed to make it the past simple, as in this case, live is a regular verb, so the past simple is lived. And for irregular verbs, there is a list on the web, and you can check out the link down below to get that. So there are lots of irregular verbs, so we just need to learn them. The past simple is also used for past actions that occur in chronological order. So if you say here, I got up, had a shower, and then left for work. These are all past actions in chronological order, in the order in which they happened. So you use the past simple. So now let's look at the past continuous. This is used for something that happened before and after a particular time in the past. So for instance, you could say, I was eating dinner at 7 o'clock last night. And from the timeline here, you can see you were eating dinner before 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. and after 7 p.m. So here we use the past continuous. The form is either the past tense of to be, so either was or were, and the ing form of the verb. The past continuous is also used for parallel actions in the past. So, for instance, in this case, I was reading while she was making dinner. Here you got 2 actions going on at the same time. As you can see from the timeline, the reading is happening at the same time as she was making dinner. So here we use the past continuous. The past continuous is also used for interrupted actions in the past. So here, the example is, I was having a shower when the phone rang. You can see from the timeline again, I was having a shower over a period of time, and it's interrupted by the phone ringing. So it's an interrupted action. So here we use the past continuous for the continuing action, having the shower, and the past simple for the phone ringing. It's also used to show something continued over some time. So for instance, you could say, everyone was singing, or for something that happened again and again. So here, I was practicing every day 3 times a day. Now let's move on to used to. Used to is used for repeated actions or situations which are no longer true. So here, the example is, I used to smoke. In other words, you no longer smoke. It's in the past. Let's now look at the present perfect simple. The present perfect is used for actions or situations happening until now, usually not finished. So for instance, I've started reading his latest book. This implies that you've started reading his book at some unspecified time in the past, and you are still reading it now, and you haven't finished reading it, and you will continue reading it in the future. If we look at the timeline, the cross represents starting reading the book, but the impact is on the present. It's on now and into the future as well. The form is have or has plus the past participle. Again, these need to be learned and can be found on the link down below. The present perfect is also used for life experiences, as this is unfinished time. Your life is not over. So you could say, I haven't traveled much, and this is in your life up until now, but maybe in the future you'll travel more. So for life experiences, use the present perfect. So the present perfect is also used when a past action has a present result. So in this case, we've got, I've done the shopping. This means you did the shopping in the past, the recent past, and it completed the action, but the result is that you now have food. So it has an impact or result in the present. The present perfect is also used with just, ever, already, yet, and since. So one example, it's a very common question, is have you ever, in this case, have you ever seen a panda? It could be, have you ever eaten snails? Have you ever? It's an expression. And you can say, I have, or I've never seen a panda. And all these words are used with the present perfect. Now, moving on to the present perfect continuous. This tense is used to show an action in progress. So in this example, we've got, I've been painting the kitchen. This is why you can see I'm covered in paint. Here we use the present perfect continuous when we want to focus on the activity which is unfinished. And the focus here is on the action of painting. So the action is unfinished, and you say it in the present perfect continuous. If you'd said, I've painted the kitchen, you are using the present perfect simple, it would mean you had finished painting the kitchen. Whereas here we are saying that we still have more to paint. So it's the present perfect continuous. The form is the subject plus have or has been plus the verb and the ing or ing form. The present perfect continuous also talks about how long has been happening. So here, I've been cooking all morning. The focus is on the unfinished activity, cooking, that has taken all morning. It's also used to show something is temporary. So you could say, I usually work in finance, but I've been working on this project for 3 weeks. So here we're implying that it's a temporary situation, that your project is only for 3 weeks, and then you'll probably go back to finance. Okay, I guess this is the end of the first part of my talk related to English tenses. We've just revised, I guess, 9 of 16 tenses. So, bye for now, thanks for watching.